Drugs on a high school campus and a fight from a concerned parent who says his daughter is taking the blame.
Yeah, a teenager's future is at stake. It's the subject of tonight's Vegas Lost. John Trainer is here with that.
Kids are caught with drugs. It's a fourth student who gets suspended. Tonight, her dad says her life could be ruined and it's unfair. We will not be using that student's name after a request from the family.
My daughter and her other friend got in the car and they drove away.
Okay.
And the other three went off to the leisure center and they got caught by a school employee with marijuana.
Leo Blitnitsky and his daughter were about to find out just what exactly happens when a student is found with marijuana on campus. The story goes like this. Leo's kid is a straight A student, never been in trouble before, until a lunch break.
Her and two friends that they had just gotten out of class walked out of the front of the school. They were going to go to Burger King.
His daughter and her friend ran into three other girls in this parking lot. They went to lunch, the other kids went to smoke marijuana, and they got caught. According to the statement from the school employee, the three girls had a seashell-shaped pipe and a sunglass container full of pot. What happened next?
I feel like it's North Korean type of due process.
The three girls were brought to the dean's office. School police were not involved. The three girls were interviewed one at a time by the dean. All three said they got the weed from Leo's daughter's car. When she got back to campus, her backpack and person were searched. The search report we got shows that no marijuana was found. Still, the statements were enough. Leo's daughter was suspended. Her once flawless record, now an academic charge of distributing drugs on campus.
She never had the marijuana in her possession at all. She was never found with it. It was not gotten out of her car. Wow. It just makes no sense. And really, those cameras show nothing?
Leo took action. He asked the school for records. He asked for security camera video, which he says the school did not provide. He then had his daughter take a drug test. She passed. And a polygraph test, which showed she was telling the truth when she said she didn't have any drugs. The district wouldn't look at any of it. After hiring a legal team, her suspension and the charge stood. We wanted to know why. The school district wouldn't talk about the case. They won't talk about any specific cases. But they did talk to us generally.
At the end of this, whether parents disagree or agree with the consequence we're imposing, I want them to at least feel like we heard them out. They had an opportunity to explain themselves.
They tell us there is a lengthy and complex appeals process that starts with the school in question and can extend to a third-party panel. Families can argue their case. They can present evidence, but they cannot present drug tests. The district won't accept them. And they can't get witnesses to recant their stories. The district says it's hard to believe new statements.
It is not uncommon when that occurs for then later parents and students to come forward and say, yes, I wrote parent this statement, but I felt pressured by the parent, and that's why I just wanted the parent to leave my house, so I wrote that.
One of those witnesses did recant. One of the three girls who pointed the finger at Leo's daughter wrote a letter saying she was intimidated by school employees to tell that story. I would like to recant my statement, it reads. I was intimidated, manipulated, pressured, and harassed. I talked to that girl's mother, who did not want to go on camera, but tells me her daughter was so frightened by what happened, she transferred schools.
Why hurt kids just to kind of play law and order?
Okay, we can report today that charge of distribution has been lifted. The suspension 9 days long. Leo and the legal team fought until 1 week ago. This was back in March to July to get that decision reversed. We don't know the details of that decision. That is confidential. Leo tells us he and his daughter are happy.
So he got what he says is justice, but he had to hire an attorney?
Yeah, he hired a team of attorneys to do this. This was a lengthy and expensive process, one that probably not a lot of parents can afford or would want to go to the headache for. That is something Leo wants to see change. He says this process has to be easier.
Wow. Another area of our juvenile justice system you're highlighting for us. Thanks, John. And he's always looking for more ideas. What's happening with your family and friends? You can email him those stories. The address to use is vegaslost@news3lv.com. And John is shuffling over to his computer right now. Are you sauntering? He's sauntering, I would say. It's a quick step. Anyway, he'll be there in just a minute to take your questions live on Facebook. Just head to KSNV.